So today is super nice and today's content is going to be a little bit different. I wanted to go for a walk and I kind of wanted to share how I navigate in tech as a minority woman without compromising who I am. Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Vicky May and I am a full-time software developer in New York City. In this channel, you will hear a lot of things about learning how to code, web development, and everything related to tech. So I currently work from home and that enables me to live a little bit further away from the city and save some money on living costs. But I love share content about tech and I hope that in today's video I can open up a little bit about my own experience working in tech as a minority woman and how I navigate that without compromising too much about myself. The first thing that I want to talk about is you gotta understand your values and identify what is the most important thing to you in life and work. And knowing your value is going to help you to make decisions that align with who you are. So I can give you an example why I was trying to figure out my way in tech. At the beginning, I wasn't really sure who I wanted to become, like what kind of career path that I wanted to taking on. So in my early 20s, I spent a lot of time just defining my values and knowing who I am, along with just, like following my intuitions about what I enjoy the most and what makes me happy. And now that I look back, I feel like that was extremely important for me because I really get to understand that my values really contribute to all these decisions and actions that I've made in life. When I was a data analyst, or even like before that, I did not have a traditional education background to become a software developer. I've never known anybody who is a software engineer either before my career started. So right from college, I did a lot of different volunteering work. I've done a lot of different types of jobs. At one point, I was in New York real estate. I started a fitness and nutrition business, and I've done a lot of different things. And in that journey, I started to, really defining what are my values and what is important for me. And I think along that way, I kind of just found my passion. One of the things that I really love about being in tech is the ability to build things with program, like the ability to code and build applications that can make the world a better place. And I feel like that was one of the main drive for me to get into tech. And I think that is really important to understand your values and identify that and being able to match that along with all the decisions that you've made, all the actions and stepping stones that you've been looking for in your career. So the second thing, after you understand your values and define your values, you need to communicate clearly. Be clear and honest about your thoughts, your feelings, your expectations. Speak up when there is something that you feel uncomfortable, especially. And what I can relate to that is during my one-on-one with my manager when I was a data analyst, I knew that I wanted to become a developer. I knew that's where my happiness is. I really got really excited about that career path. So I'd be very front about where I wanted to be. And a lot of times you have to be honest to your manager in a way that you need to let him or her know that what motivates you. And I think that you need to be, obviously knowing your value, but more importantly, you need to learn how to communicate clearly to your expectations. And when things aren't aligned with your values, you definitely need to speak up because sometimes it's good to have those conversations to teach people how to respect you and learn that those are the values that you stand behind. So once you've communicated clearly about your personal expectations and your personal values, you also need to set your boundaries. You need to set your boundaries in between work and your personal commitments. You can only be the best version of yourself when you feel like you are at your best. You can commit to more, right? So don't try to juggle between personal and work. Be very aware about when you feel like you're burning out from work and be setting those boundaries with those commitments. For me, a lot of times I feel like it's not only just like for work that I'm having boundaries and things that I need to take care of. But at the same time, I feel like I also have a personal life. I have side hustles and I have, like fitness goals that I want to do for my personal health. So I would plan those commitments accordingly. And I would definitely set boundaries to say no. It's okay to say no because you know that you need to take care of those commitments so then you can be the best version of yourself. So it's important to do that and set boundaries. The next thing that I want to talk about is be authentic of yourself. And I feel like this is something that I struggle the most in my early 20s. I've definitely tried to be someone else to try to fit in, especially knowing that deep down in my heart that I'm a super nerd. But because I wanted to be, act certain way to be popular in school, I try to be more athletic and I try to do all these things to make people like me. But as I grew older, I realized that being the authentic self of who you are is my superpower. And I feel like it is really important to do that. Even at a professional settings, you should not try to be someone that you're not. Try to bring your true self to work. And I'm not saying that you should, oversharing your personal life when somebody never really asked you at work. I feel like there is a boundary at a work setting, at a professional work setting. But I also think that it's super important to be authentic and be true to yourself, to stand with those values that you grew up with. And even sometimes means you have to be vulnerable with those things. That's okay. I think that people appreciated vulnerability, and I think that when you're open and you're open to criticism and you're open to other people's opinions and thoughts and cultures, makes you even more powerful and more respectful in your professional journey. I hope this video gives you a little bit of courage, a little bit of motivation to allow you to be the best version of yourself, be the true self. And I hope that this gives you a little bit of excitement to try to learn the process of feeling way more comfortable being who you are. Thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time, I'll talk to you soon. Peace.